What's going on, everybody? It's Marcus back with another video. I'm happy you're here, thankful you're here, thankful for the day. I hope your day has been fun and fulfilling at the time that you see this, and if it's not, then I hope it gets better. Today I wanted to talk about something a little bit more specific, something that I personally have a great deal of experience in, and just wanted to share my story and also some helpful tips out there for anyone who wants to stop vaping. Yeah, so it's a big thing. A lot of people do it, and a lot of people want to quit. So if you're watching this video right now, it's because you want to quit. That's the only way that you found this video. You wouldn't have found it any other way. So if you're here, then it's because you want to quit. And for me, I used to vape for about 6 years, and right now I'm not sure what the exact number is. I stopped counting, but I am most likely over 600 days without hitting a vape. Which is crazy because I have asthma, one, and I never smoked cigarettes, and I hit a vape, and next thing you know, I hit a Juul, and next thing you know, 6 years went by, and I was doing it every day, spending like $40, $60, sometimes $60 a week on vapes. It was craziness. But I made the decision, and I quit, and yeah, never look back. So if that is the spot that you're in, I am going to give you some tips and some information to help you stop vaping. So the number one thing you got to do when you start on this journey, you have to change your mindset around quitting vaping. And let me tell you what I mean by that. How many times have you tried to quit? Probably multiple times, right? Yeah, everyone tries to quit. Stop trying to quit. You need to quit. Because every time you say, I'm trying to quit, you are just giving yourself room for failure. Because you low-key want to fail because you want to keep vaping. But if you really want to quit, you'll stop saying I'm trying to quit, and you will start saying I quit vaping. I'm not a person who vapes anymore. That's how you do this. All right? You got to get that mindset. You got to get that set in stone that you are no longer trying to quit. You did quit. I quit vaping. I don't vape anymore. I'm not a person who vapes. Every time you have a craving and you go to pick up your vape, that is what you're going to say to yourself. I quit vaping. Oh, I'm not a person who vapes. Saying that to yourself every time you got a craving, I'm telling you, it is going to help. But you have to stay committed to that. Stop trying. What did Yoda say? Do or do not. There is no try. That is how we start this. Number 2, throw away all your vapes. You can't vape if you don't have any, so throw them away. All right? It's time to burn the boats. You know what burn the boats means? It means that you don't have a way back. All right? Back in the olden times when armies used to go to war, the war generals, when the army got to the enemy shores, they would burn the boats. So the soldiers would fight more desperately because they knew they couldn't turn around and run away. This is what you got to do. You got to throw away all the vapes. All of them in your car, in your house, anywhere. Throw them out. All right? Because when you have those cravings, you're going to reach for it. And it's going to be that much harder to stop if you have one. So, burn the boats, throw them all out. All right? Now, number 3, educate yourself. I went down a rabbit hole of educating myself on all the terrible shit that vaping does to you. One of the number one things is your mental health. Vaping will make you so anxious for no reason. You could be somebody who's never had anxiety issues, and the longer you vape, the more it's going to make you anxious. All right? Because here's the thing. When you vape, you think that you're doing it because it makes you less stressed. But it's actually making you more stressed because it's fucking with the chemicals in your brain. It's fucking up your dopamine centers. All right? Every time you vape, it makes you more anxious. All right? So when you go down and start doing the education the way I did, you learn about the mental health aspects, the physical aspects. All right? What it's doing to your body. You have to educate yourself. All right? Learn what it is that you actually have been doing this whole time. Learn how actually when you stop just for one day, you will start to have benefits. You might not feel them, but the benefits are happening even when you quit for one day. For me, that was motivation to know that, oh, even if I stop for one day, that one day is already progress. It's already a step in the right direction. You have to educate yourself. You can even learn different ways on how to quit after you watch this video. All right? But just learn. Learn what you're putting into your body. Learn what it's doing to your mind. All right? So, now, number 4. So this is optional, I guess, but I would recommend it. I highly recommend it. Meditation and breath work. When I stopped vaping, what really helped me stay mindful and keep my head in the game and on the task is meditation and breath work. It's something that I still practice now to this day. It has helped me in other aspects of my life. I love meditating. It's a good way to just center yourself, get still, and learn to be in the present moment. So when you're going through those cravings and you have your breathwork techniques, sometimes all it takes is a couple deep breaths. Inhale 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. Basic stuff here, guys. But when the more you practice it, the stronger you will become. The more you will be able to let the cravings pass, and the more you will be able to recognize patterns in your nervous system and things like that when you do have cravings. Like, you will start to notice when you do certain things that make you get a craving. So for me, big triggers were working. I worked from home. So I was doing it all the time. It got so bad, sometimes I would be in a meeting and I was on video and I would hit my vape and not even know that I was doing it. And I had my manager say, hey, if you're going to do that, please turn off your camera. And I was literally just doing it. It was like, I felt like a robot. And it was just like, wow, I'm really controlled by this thing. I'm talking about doing it when I wake up, before I go to bed. Gross, all right? You know what I'm talking about. Another trigger for me, playing video games. And here's the thing about vaping. The longer you do it and become addicted to it, it starts to rob you of other things that you enjoy to do. Because your mind and your body starts to associate those things with vaping instead of you actually liking them. You just like to vape. And that's what happened to me with playing video games. Played video games my whole life, for a decade plus before I ever fucking knew what tobacco was. I was playing video games. All right. But I got to the point where every time I sat down in front of my fucking PlayStation to play, I had to vape. So when I was on my journey of quitting, let me tell you, it was hard at first. Yeah. And let me just say, none of this is exactly easy at the beginning, but that's the best part, because it's never going to be harder than when it is than when you start. Every day after that, it gets easier, but you have to commit. You have to be intentional with this. All right. This all goes back to the mindset. Every step will fall into the other. All right. Stop trying. Just do it. Because that's how hard it will be in the beginning. So when you start to have your triggers and the cravings, meditation will help you understand and see those triggers, and you'll be able to get to those cravings much better. Another trigger for me was driving. Vaped a lot in the car while I was driving, and I would reach down while I'm driving and realize, oh, my vape's not there. And then you realize a lot of it is just like a compulsive, like a physical thing. You just want to pick something up and put it to your mouth. And, that's the thing that you become addicted to. So then probably the last one, and maybe the most important one, celebrate your wins. All right. It's very important to understand where you're at in your journey and track your progress. So for me, I downloaded an app called Escape the Vape. This app helped me track how much money I was spending. Like I said earlier, I was spending like $40, $60 a week on vapes. It helps you see how much money you've been saving. And if you need to count the days, count the days. At some point, you'll get to the point where you don't even have to count anymore. I honestly don't know. But last time I checked, maybe a month or two ago, I was about like 540 days. So celebrate your wins. And what I mean by that is you got to even celebrate the small ones. If you're like me, you hit your vape every minute, 30 seconds, you're hitting it. So when you start out and every time you don't hit it for a craving, celebrate that. It doesn't matter if you go 5 minutes without hitting it. It doesn't matter how small the time. Celebrate that win. Pat yourself on the back. Tell yourself you're doing good. All right? Because then the more and more you celebrate those wins, the more they will lead into the big ones. I didn't hit my vape for 30 seconds. I didn't hit it for 5 minutes, for an hour, for a day. Oh shit, it's been a week. Oh shit, it's been a month. All right? And then like I was saying before, when you do the education, you'll see and you'll learn about all the stages that your brain and your body is going through the more and more you start to detox from the vape, and how your dopamine centers are healing after a certain amount of days. You stop for 90 days, you're damn near in the clear. Those first 30 days, it's going to be rough, and then let me tell you, it's going to be rough those first couple weeks when you're trying to stop. You're going to want to do it. You might get irritable, but that's because you're getting better. All right. You're not getting worse. You're getting better. All right. So I know step 6, I said, was the last one and maybe the most important one, but I just thought of another one. So find something to replace vaping when you go through your cravings. For me, I used to click a pen. I was walking around clicking a pen every time I wanted to vape. That helped me. Chewing gum helps. All right. Find something to do. Push-ups. Going back to breath work, you can do that. But if you can find something to replace vaping, you could do toothpicks. Because like I said, a lot of it is an oral fixation. So you can, have toothpicks in your mouth. That helps. But find something to replace it. But the main thing is being able to get past those cravings when they come. If you can make it past the cravings as they come throughout the day, every day, I promise you, you will be good. And you will be able to get through the cravings if you follow these steps. I promise you, this is how I did it. This is how I learned about how so many other people have did it. I know you want to quit because you're here right now and you're watching this video. You found this video because you want to quit. And that is the most important thing. I know I keep saying that, but let me tell you, you actually wanting to quit, that is the most important thing. You have to want to do this shit, all right? Because if you just keep saying, oh, I'm going to try, and then you relapse after 3 days, that might happen. But it's important too not to feel too down on yourself. You could try again, but understand that you will never really quit until you want to. That's the only time you're going to do it. So even if you start off good on this journey and you relapse, come back here. I'm going to be here. And we going to quit. I believe in you. I love you all.